Oh, they're so multi-talented, these people. Researchers, scientists, connectors of people. Tēnā koutou katoa, thank you for enjoying that beautiful session of networking and kai. Pai te kai, did you have a nice kai? Okay, good, because I need you to be powered up and be energized, because our next sessions are ahakoa heiti he pounamu. Even though they are small, they were powerful. Now we have an opportunity to ask questions through the app. Has anyone had a go at the app yet? In terms of asking questions, you may need to refresh, but just have a quick look at that. Give it an option. What all of our speakers have been asked to do is to answer the most commonly asked questions. So to intuitively answer your questions. But if you do still have a question, feel free to put it in the app, and then if we don't have time for them to answer that particular question, it will be followed up and you'll get a written response. Ka pai? Now I see all of the faces are down in the tapu land of watching the screen. So as long as it's on the kaupapa and not on TikTok, we're all good. Te kaupapa e whai ake nei. The first theme that we explore this morning is whakamana. We empower. Could I just get a really nice, powerful repeat from you all? Whakamana. It feels good, and it is going to be good, because whakamana is all about valuing our biological heritage, understanding how it's changing, and be inspired to take action to protect it, with a goal that a majority of New Zealanders value our biological heritage and are enabled to actively contribute to positive change. We are making change makers. Koina te tino kaupapa. You also know that our second impact areas are tiaki, protect. Could I hear you say tiaki? Tiaki. Protect and whakahoe. Whakahoe, restore. One more time, people going, yeah, I'm just going to wait till someone next to me says that one. Whakahoe. Restore. So, we start this morning with some fantastic speakers. And by the way, if you are presenting this afternoon, please put your hand up, because you know this, and I'm sure you've all got your presentations in already. If not, that's just a little reminder during lunch. Could you please make sure that your presentations are in so they can look lovely up on the screen. Nō reira, karema. First, in our speaker groups, within the whakamana talks, our speaker group are Kiri Joy Wallace, John Reid, Catherine Kirby and Corey Ruha. And mihi ana kia koutou katoa. Their topic is the Amazing Eco Index, with their presentation on the Eco Index Tech Toolkit, Optimising Biodiversity Impact. They are our first group, so make sure they feel welcome on our atamira. Hara mai koutou katoa.
Well, ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Ko te mihi ki te mana whenua, te rohi nei. Ko te mihi ki te rangatira mā, hei uriho, no Ngāti Piki o mei tainui, ko John Reid tōku ingoa. Well, warm greetings to everybody here today on behalf of the Eco Index team. Not all of us could be here today, but 4 members of the team could make it, and we're here to share our insights on the Eco Index journey, in particular in relation to generating impact. I'm co-lead of the Eco Index team alongside my esteemed colleague Kiri, and who I'll now pass over the baton to for her to introduce herself and take us through some of the first slides.
Kia ora, John. Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Ngāti Pākehā tōku iwi no America te papakainga. Kei Kiri Roa o e noho ana e nai. Ko Kiri Joy Wallace tōku ingoa. So, greetings everyone. I'm Kiri. I am an ecologist at Te Whare Wānanga o Waikato, and that's the University of Waikato. And I'm hosted there in the Environmental Research Institute, and they're sponsors of this conference. So, as John said, I'm co-lead of Eco Index, and I get to kick things off here. First of all, who are we at Eco Index? We are an initiative who focus on technology as a solution to support nature and to help to reverse that decline. So we've produced some technological tools that are science-based and they provide biodiversity investment guidance. They work at a landscape scale, so really large, vast areas, but they do have local benefit once they're applied. So far, they've been custom integrated into 6 different large organizations, and we have thousands of people accessing them on our general use open access version on our website. Our foundation is shaped very strongly by Te Ao Māori principles and bioheritage values, which kind of go hand in hand anyway. And we think this has been really important to the kaupapa as it's formed and come alive for us. We also believe that we've been able to increase our research impact because we do science a bit differently. And in this talk, we'll go through 4 key ways that we believe that we deliver science differently for impact. We will also talk about a partnership that we have that kind of exemplifies this. And before we jump into that, though, let's just give you a tiny little video intro to tell you a bit about the kaupapa itself before we tell you how we deliver it.
As more and more people take up the challenge of halting biodiversity decline across Aotearoa, New Zealand, the Eco Index team is providing science-based information to help with planning and prioritisation of environmental actions. We provide information for catchment scale planning. If you've thought about a long-term goal for your project, our Eco Index ecosystem restoration targets can help. Our goal is to help land managers from all walks of life to protect and restore at least 15% of each native ecosystem that belongs in their catchment by 2121. The game changes if we can reach this 15% goal, with links to greater ecosystem resilience and function, as well as reduced management costs and better prospects for reversing the decline of native biodiversity. But we wanted to provide more than just a goal, so we looked at the ecosystem types that would likely occur without the presence of people and compared them to today's landscapes. This allowed us to identify catchments that have less than 15% native ecosystem cover and calculate targets to guide restoration work on the ground. These are the areas with the greatest ecosystem restoration potential. Explore our Eco Index ecosystem restoration targets for your catchment and gain new scientific insights for your biodiversity planning, funding applications, and big picture thinking. When we restore native ecosystems, we create a chance for nature and people to once again thrive.
Right, so that's just in a nutshell, a bit of the mahi. So going to these 4 key things that we think have really empowered our journey so we can empower WHAKAMANA others. The first one is co-funding. So you may remember, and those of you who don't know, BioHeritage encouraged a co-funding approach, find partners who are willing to put some skin in the game financially. And so this took time and building relationships, but we did this and we found that it fostered really beautiful, authentic two-way partnerships. So here you can see a bit of a snapshot of the ecosystem of some of those partners, and we really felt this was a great way to deliver science differently. So I'm going to now hand over to John again to cover off the next point.
So I suppose the first thing to say is a big thank you to the leadership within the BioHeritage Science Challenge. What they enabled us to do was act with a lot of flexibility and agility. So sometimes we get baked into certain deliverables in science. What they enabled us to do was continually shift and deliver a lot more. And so this ability to pivot continually was a significant driver of our success, and that also that continual support or mentorship from more broadly, and all the linkages across that leadership enabled us to move rapidly. But more than that, I think what it enabled us to do was to exceed our deliverables, just because we weren't baked into certain trajectories. and dealing with an environment that was continually and changing fast, particularly with industries and government and so on. The second point is that around delivering science differently was we also got given a lot of flexibility to be able to develop and appoint our own team. And getting the right team culture was pivotal. Getting the right personality mix, the right traits of people, and the right technical capabilities, that sort of combination came together to provide us with the momentum that we needed. We're also highly interdisciplinary. We've got economists, ecologists, sociologists, and others, and data scientists, and AI specialists, and so on. So an incredibly multidisciplinary team and a cross-cultural team as well. So particularly a strong Māori, Te Ao Māori influence running through the team. The final point was many early career researchers. We had high FTEs of young, interested, passionate researchers in the team that gave us a lot of momentum and enabled us to drive and deliver the things that we were passionate about and wanted to deliver.
Kia ora, John. Our diverse team works remote first, so internal communication is critical, but equally so is our external communication. Tēnā koutou katoa no urupi o kutupuna no ohiwa hau kei kirikiriroa tukakainga I nāianei ko Catherine Kirby toku ingoa. I'm the Communication and Relationships Manager for EcoIndex, and it's my pleasure to speak to the fourth way that we have delivered science differently, and that's through dedicated science communication. So my first main point is science communication is a specialist field. We use our own science literacy to communicate research in customised, appealing and accessible ways, and we bridge that gap between scientific research and development and the next or end user. For EcoIndex, this has meant translating and communicating elements of data science, ecology, social science, and economics to a wide range of end users and next users, as you can see here. So my job is to elevate research uptake and impact by identifying audiences, providing two-way translation for researchers and users, emphasis on two-way, building understanding of our user needs and building trust, community and connection. And here are some of the ways that this is done to achieve greater uptake with EcoIndex. If we want to achieve uptake and impact from science, we need to invest in science communication to convert research funding into change on the ground. And I definitely acknowledge that there are many researchers, especially in the challenge, who have skilled science communicators. But I believe it is unrealistic to expect super busy researchers and super busy end users to efficiently and effectively bridge this gap themselves. Next up, it's my pleasure to introduce our iwi data liaison and data scientist, Corey, who is going to exemplify EcoIndex science delivery alongside his own passion and knowledge in a kōrero about our work with Aotearoa.
Kia ora mai tātou. Ko Pairoa te Paeng Maunga, ko Waikato te awa, ko Ruha te tangata, he uri tēnei, ko Koe Ruha tōku ingoa, he uri whakaheke no te aroa waka, he uri whakatupu no ahi te reiria. O tira tēnā tātou. G'day. My name's Corey Ruha. I don't think I have to bend down that much, but I came into this beautiful mix of people and expertise through Te Urunga o Kea, which is the Aotearoa Climate Change Working Group. Through COVID, volunteering my time, I gained a passion for, I guess, biodiversity and data, specifically all types of environmental data. And in Te Ara Ki Kōpū, which was our strategy, one of those 6 priorities that was listed from doing interview with whānau and Te Aroa Whānui was biodiversity. And so it was a perfect opportunity to start working with this project and how it could look for Te Aroa. So collaboration and practice. So it was amazing to understand how this project could be beneficial towards Hokainga, but we're already working in this space. We had wetland teams, we have all these pest management teams, so understanding how this map could be used as a guide for Hokainga on the ground. And then I was nominated / voluntold to jump into this mahi, and it was an amazing opportunity for me to grow and help build that capacity and capability. Or I always hear that, so I just call it CAP squared. And so recently we were able to build a toolkit for Te Arawa, which looks a little bit like this. It's a map, so a heat map which shows some of the key spots for reconstructing various ecosystems. The outline there is a perimeter drawn around all the different iwi layers. So across 6 different sea draining catchments and 10 and growing iwi boundaries, which we're still mapping out. But it aggregates 9 different layers, ranging from threatened environments to land stability and land suitability. And presented this back to our people last week, and they were chuffed. It was cool to see what we could do moving forward. So, you know, my dream is to be able to help train our people how to build tools like this, how to incorporate our stories, our Waiata, throughout this. I've been fiddling around with maps for a little bit and building stories on one of our tupuna up there, Tuhourangi, his journey. And yeah, incorporating this into, I guess, the ETS and how can we use this for funding and in the coming biodiversity markets that's growing. And yeah, back to on the ground mahi, which is all our whānau doing all this amazing work.
Kia ora, Corey. And so in summary, science success from Eco-Index learnings can be elevated through co-funding and authentic partnerships. Agility in all respects, and I tautoko the thanks to BioHeritage for that. The right team culture and dedicated science communication. So we have a brief waiata for you, but I'll also say we're very delighted that up next we'll be hearing from one of our longest standing partners with Monica from the New Zealand Merino Company. Ngā mihi nui.
We just thought we'd keep the Waiata buzz going. The guitar will be over there if anyone wants to have a jam. Yeah. I'm nothing like the Morrisons with their beautiful voices. I'm no Matatini standard, but if you know the Waiata, sing along. Toi a mai te waka nei, kurume a mai te waka nei. Tako to rangai tako to ai Tiriti te mana motu hake te ta Nia te manu nei Pipi wharoa Tui kui Whiti whiti ora Hui e
Tino pairao atu, and that is the classic ending to any song, jink, jink. That's when you know that the way is fit. Damn it, there was a slide that I wanted to take a photo of, Corey, me ahu atu o ki a koe, because I wanted to take a picture of that last slide about our tupuna Tuhourangi. But I will be able to do that. I'm going to just tahai it, actually. The app, how's it going? Are you able to ask any questions? Kia kaha koutou, because remember we have a panel at 11:30 that will be an opportunity to answer a lot of those questions. In the meantime, an awesome example of doing science differently, bringing people together, speaking about culture and collaboration and multidisciplines in the ways that make change happen.